All right, now it's recording. Okay, so we've got the zucchini produced is going to shift to the left. So we've got supply and demand. Our supply shifts left. And so we can watch the price go up and the quantity decrease. That's kind of hard to see. Questions about that, about why it's supply or what happens to price and quantity? Okay. All right. Number 5 trips people up sometimes. So here the price of zucchini seed is low. Again, this is our market for zucchini. It's not the market for zucchini seed. So zucchini seed is an input that goes into the production of zucchinis, right? You are not going to go to the farmer's market and buy zucchini seed. You want to buy zucchini. So the farmer who grew the zucchini had to buy the zucchini seed for his production purposes. So that means it is going to be our supply curve that is going to shift. And so if the price of the zucchini seed is low, then Mr. Farmer Man can buy more zucchini seeds and produce more zucchini, so the supply shifts to the right. So supply shifts right because of the price of inputs is cheaper. And so we watch the price has decreased and the quantity has, I did that wrong. The price has decreased and the quantity has increased. So the price goes down from here to here and the quantity increases from here to here. There. Yes, no, good?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right. And then the last part, you can graph these out and it'll show you the answer. So if demand increases, quantity will increase. If supply increase, price decreases. If price increases, demand stays the same. Only quantity demanded changes. All right. If the price of a substitute increases, demand increases. If the price of the complement increases, demand decreases. And if the price of resources decrease, supply increases. Yes, no, struggles, problems. Why is price increases tricky?
Can you explain why price decreases when supply increases?
Yes. All right. So if we have a supply and demand graph here, and here's our equilibrium. Sorry, my hand's in the way. Okay, so there we go. Can you see that, Kevin?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right. So we're looking at this one here. Why does the price decrease if supply increases? So if we actually shift the supply curve to the right, here's our new price right here below our old price. So when our supply increased to the right, our price decreased and our quantity increased.
Okay.
So it is a matter of cause and effect. Like, one of the tricky things about this class that this unit takes us getting used to is you have spent your entire educational career for your teachers to say, oh, we're going to take all these little bitty pieces and we're going to find the big picture, right? And the whole point is I want you to see the big picture. I want you to be able to put all this information together and see the big picture. And I'm telling you the exact opposite. You probably know the end result and you know the big picture. And now I need you to break it all back down into the tiny little bitty bits and make them go in order. And so it's confusing because for most of your classes you've ever had, you haven't had to think in this way. You've had to think in an opposite way. And everything is a cause becomes an effect, which becomes a cause, which becomes an effect, which becomes a cause. And you have to know each step or you get lost. So you've got to know which comes first to know, like, you know the end game and you know the beginning game, but sometimes we get lost in the middle game, and we gotta know each of those steps. And so that's where these things right here come into play, is knowing which curve is going to shift, what happens to the price, and what happens to the quantity. So, all right. Any other questions about that paper? No. All right. What about the orange juice one? I know you had it twice.
That was easy.
That was what? Confusing?
Easy.
That one was easier, yeah.
That one was
Yeah,
easier?
mine's
That was at least.
All right, so just in case, I'll do this really fast, and show you. So if the early frost hits the orange groves, then we know that supply will decrease. If doctors recommend orange juice, demand will increase. If landowners in Florida begin growing more oranges, supply will increase. And if people are nervous about a salmonella outbreak, then demand will decrease. And once you know which curve shifts, you should be able to answer the questions based, because you can see it. Once you shift it, you can see what happens to your price and quantity. So, we're good there?
I think so.
I think so. All right. Tell me where else you have problems. Has anybody looked at any of the other review stuff that I put on there?
Other?
I gave y'all so much possible review stuff.
I did look at one of the other sheets. I think for the ones due like on test day or something.
Yeah.
And let's see which one it was. It's the one that at the top it says AP Macro Basic Economic Concept Study Guide.
All right, let's see. Is that me that's making that noise? Is that reverb from my computers? All right. Okay, so if you look under the unit review part of, so here's unit review. There's review for supply and demand, supply and demand study guide, supply and demand study guide. Which one was it, Carly, that you said? Carly, you there?
My mic was muted.
Oh, sorry. Okay, which one was it that you were asking about?
It's the one at the top of it. It says AP Macro Basic Economic Concept Study Guide. It's when you open it, the first page is like an overview of what you learned in the class.
Oh, yeah. This one. Okay. This one. Can you see that? Yes, can y'all see my paper? All right, so that says Thursday, February 2nd. Those dates are not correct. I borrowed this from the Interconnected Webs. So you just want me to go over it, Carly? Is your mic muted again? Talk to me, Carly.
When I looked at it, I think maybe it was like wording it different than like maybe it was in the PowerPoints.
Okay, so if we're looking at this one, I got small when I did it that way. So the first question is about the two subfields that economics is divided into. That would be macroeconomics and microeconomics. So macro is big picture stuff and micro is little picture stuff. The second question is about positive and normative economics. And so positive economics is, it can be tested. You can prove its reliability, whether it is a true or false statement. A normative question is saying what should or what ought to be. So for instance, we can say with certainty, a positive statement would be, if price increases, quantity demanded will decrease. Okay. And if price decreases, quantity demanded will increase. But a normative statement would say we should lower all prices. Because if you own a business, would you agree that prices should be lowered? Not necessarily. So a normative statement is what should be, what ought to be, that cannot be proven, that could be based on people's political ideologies. And a positive statement is something that's true no matter what, it can be tested. So
So
three. Go ahead.
for those statements, are like the normative ones, are they always going to be like referring to the future?
Not necessarily in the future, but they're going to refer to what somebody thinks should happen without weighing another side of the point. It's an opinion. So if you
Okay.
think of normative as an opinion, like your normal isn't the same as my normal, those are opinions, norm, right? So it could be, that's how I think of it. So not necessarily the future, because it could be, well, they should have done this during the Great Depression. It would have helped more. That would be a normative statement. Does that help a little bit?
Yes, ma'am.
So like if you're looking at these, like part B that says a reduction in the rate of the growth of money will reduce the rate of inflation, that can be tested, right? You can test that and find out whether it's true or not. But the Federal Reserve should reduce the growth rate of money. Well, is everybody going to agree with? I mean, that it says should, and normative is going to be should or ought. So, does that help some?
So is positive and normative going to be on the test?
Like definitional.
Okay.
So there's
And
not going to be like a big list like this of deciding whether it's positive or normative. But you need to know, like, we need to know when we study economics that there are some things that are economic laws that are true no matter what. But a lot of economics is people's opinions based on their political ideals. And so that's why econ falls into social science, because it is science, because there are laws that govern it, but those laws depend on people's behavior, and we can't always predict how people are going to behave. We can do with some certainty, but not complete certainty. So then like part 4 here is asking whether it's micro or macro. So if it's about a family, that would be a small entity. So that would be a micro decision. But if it's about the government on auto emissions for everybody, that would be macro, because it's large and it's part of the whole big economy. So micro is individual businesses or consumers or families, and macro is the whole economy. Then you've got those 3 basic economic questions, which are what to produce, how to produce, and for whom to produce. So what are you going to make, how are you going to make it, and who are you making it for? And then the phrase, there's no such thing as a free lunch. Anybody know why? When we get free lunch at Chris County High School, that's not a
Cost to make
Because
food.
it costs,
The
yeah,
tab For that one, I just said like it basically states that even if something's free in the end, you'll pay for it like in some other way.
Okay, so yes, and not necessarily in terms of money, right? Because not all costs in economics are price related. So every single thing that we do, every decision that we make has an opportunity cost. Because when you choose to do one thing, you lose the opportunity to do or have something else. So there's no such thing as a free lunch. One, because somebody's paying for it. We get free lunch at Crisp County High School. It's free to the consumer, but somebody's paying for it. In our case, the federal and state governments are paying for it, which means our tax dollars are paying for it, right? So somebody's paying for it. But then there's also things like, oh, well, you can have this for free, but if you get that for free, you're losing the opportunity to have or do something else. So there's always some type of cost involved in everything that we do. The factors of production: land, labor, capital, and entrepreneurship. right? And then the types of there's only an A and B here, but under capital, but there are 3 types of capital, which are financial, human, and physical. So financial would be the money, physical would be a tool, and human is the education and training that you need to do your job better, more betterer.
Is it going to be asking for like the explanations and stuff of these?
It will be primarily multiple choice and like 1 free response question.
Alright.
So
And it's Friday, right?
Thursday, but it'll be like I'm going to release it. So my plan is that these study guides that are here, right? So you've got 3 different reviews. You've also got a review on AP Classroom. I'm not trying to overwhelm you with like ridiculous amounts of work, but I'm giving you multiple reviews so that because if we were in person, I would be interacting with you more and know better about where you stand and how you're doing. So I'm trying to give you lots of different things to review so that you can see things from different perspectives and know what you're struggling with and what you're not. So I've given you more information than you hopefully need in terms of review so that when you come in to our meet tomorrow morning, you've got plenty of questions and you can say with certainty, I do know how to do this, but I don't know how to do this. I need to go over this. And then after we meet tomorrow, I'm going to release the test and you'll have until like midnight tomorrow night to finish it. Okay. So
And for that thing in AP Classroom,
yeah.
you do want that done by tonight too,
Again,
right?
that is review for you. It will help me because I can get on there and look and see what the majority of people are missing and don't understand. So it helps me if you go ahead and do it because I can look at it and I know, okay, 50% of you missed this question. So you're struggling with this concept and I can make sure I review it. But if you would rather, if you got a printer and you want to print out the study guides and do that, that's fine. Whatever you feel like is most helpful to you. Because I hate taking tests on computers. They make me unhappy. At some point when we're together, I'll tell you about my college math class, and I'm still bitter about it. About taking it on a computer. So, I've given you've got 3 sort of study guides in here, and you've got a checkup on the AP Classroom. So you've got 4 big things to review. So you should have plenty to check yourself or to go over, for me to go over with you.
So like, is every single review like due by tomorrow, or like how is that gonna work?
I am not grading those reviews. Those are for you to check your understanding. So yes, when you get off this meet and you want to do 2 of them instead of all 4 of them, that's fine. But I want to be able to be of help to you when we meet tomorrow. So I want for you to do whatever it is that you feel like you need the most help on, so that when we get together tomorrow morning, you can say, hey, I've forgotten how to do terms of trade. Can you go over that again? So I can prepare you the best I can. So I'm not taking them for a grade. They don't have to be turned in, but I want for you to have questions for me because if you don't ask me, I don't know that you don't know, right? If we were in a classroom setting together and we were working on stuff, I could look over your shoulder and know you don't know. But in this setting, I don't know that you don't know until you tell me you don't know. So, and it's okay. Like, I don't know if some of you aren't speaking up because you're embarrassed to say you don't know. Y'all, it is okay. I am aware and your peers are aware. This class is just different. It's a different type of class than like the material. It's just different. You don't think this way in most of your other classes. And so we're just trying to get our basics in and make sure that we understand the little parts, like the difference between demand and quantity demanded, because that's confusing. The terms of trade, unless you write it out longhand and don't skip steps, it can be confusing. So I want to make sure that we're doing all those steps that we need to do to make it less confusing. So, plus my kitchen table may be available if you need me at some point this evening or tomorrow evening.
Did I make it at the wrong time?
All right, do you want me to keep going over this, or tell me what you want me to do?
If you don't mind.
Okay. All right, so if you're looking at number 8 here, I know it's small, but if you're looking at number 8, a computer would be capital because it is a tool that makes your job easier. Crude oil would be land because it is in the ground. It's a natural resource. A business owner would be an entrepreneur because they own the business themselves. And the store clerk would be the labor because that is the worker that is hired by the business owner. Which factor of production do you think is the most important? Baya, don't answer.
At first, I thought it was going to be resources, but then I found out, or what I read said it was labor.
Oh, there's definitely labor. You can get a machine to do anything else, but you have humans doing something.
Let me ask this. Which factor of production can we increase significantly in the
Capital.
short run? Which one?
Capital? Question mark?
Capital.
Yeah.
All right, so capital is going to be the most important because it is the only one that we can increase significantly in the short run. We cannot come up with more natural resources, more land. I mean, eventually we can create more labor, but it's going to take a good, 15 to 18 years for that to happen. And not necessarily an appropriate thing to do. Okay. Entrepreneur, we can provide incentives for entrepreneurs, but capital is the one that is going to cause the most significant economic growth. So think about this, for instance. Our world has dealt for millennia without computer technology, right? Computers developed in their very large, grotesque, one computer took up like an entire, building in the 1940s, 50s-ish, all right? And now we have computers in our pockets with cell phones. In a matter of less than a century, we have surpassed any type of technology that we have had for millennia. Because once you have technological growth, it becomes exponential. So capital is going to be the one that we can increase and causes the most increase in productivity. Carly, keeping your laborers happy and making them productive is important, but the best way to make your laborers productive is to use human capital and to train and educate them. And to use financial capital to pay them with. So yes, keeping laborers happy is, but it's the capital with which you use to make them happy that's going to be really important. Okay. A production possibilities frontier, that's our production possibilities curve that shows us the trade-off between two items like guns and butter. Remember doing that? Yes, no, maybe? Okay. So if we were doing, I wonder if I have no, it's not going to do it. Where my little tools are, my drawing tools. I can do it here. So your production possibilities curve for an economy on a graph will look like that. Can y'all see that, or is that just on my screen? Where I drew in red?
No, we can't see that.
You can't see that? Okay, so all right, well, I'm videoing this if you want to go back and look at it, but I have drawn it in red. So basically, I can't do it on here, but a production possibilities frontier would look like a curved line going this way. All right. And anything inside of your curve is going to be impossible. Is going to be inefficient. So you're wasting resources if you're inside of the curve. If you're on the curve, it's efficient. And if it's outside of the curve, it's impossible because you don't have enough resources to create outside of your production possibilities curve. And if you go back and look at like the very first notes that we did where we did guns and butter, that's what that's from. So like if we were using these, Sue's opportunity cost for producing a shirt. So if she makes 4 shirts a day or 2 blouses a day, isn't a shirt a blouse? What's the difference? That's random. Her opportunity cost for producing 4 shirts is 2 blouses. So her opportunity cost of producing 1 shirt is a half of a blouse. So that's again where you would take that and create your little box of 4 to 2 and 2 to 4 to figure out the comparative advantage. That might be one you want to work on. That might be one you want to work on before you come in tomorrow and we can practice a comparative advantage in terms of trade tomorrow morning. So, let's see, those are all about absolute and comparative advantage. All right, and then I think that I put on there 16 through 20. You don't have to do those because those are on the next unit. So on this, if you're doing this review guide, questions 16 through 20 are not on this unit. The other information that you have that you may or may not find beneficial is down here. Your learning objectives for Unit 1. All of this tells you everything that you should know in this unit. So where it says learning objectives for Unit 1, if there's something in there that you don't know how to do, then that would be an important thing to note. All right, questions?
You have to guess what your Korean YouTube video is.
I have to tell Yesh what my what?
What your Korean YouTube video is.
Oh, it's just music. Is that what he's asking? I can't see
The YouTube one.
this one. It's just like piano music
Oh.
that I listen to in the background.
Oh, okay, my bad. I thought you were, betraying the U.S. My bad. I'm
That I
sorry.
was listening to like some random K-pop or something. No.
Maybe, yeah.
Fun fact, my brother's ex-girlfriend's sister was in a K-pop band, like the most profitable K-pop band in Korea up until whatever that current one is today. And her name was Sunny, and it was really big. And I think that she may have been the one that passed away like a couple of last year. But that's a different story. Other fun fact about Korean K-pop is Koreans are required to perform military service for a certain amount of years. All Koreans, men and women, and Korea lifted that requirement because of the success of a current K-pop band. Miss Fields and random trivia.
That's honestly pretty cool because one of my friends, he lives in Canada, and he was really scared about going back because they were gonna recall him and make him serve in the military. So he was really scared about that for a while.
Yeah. What happened, whatever, I don't listen to K-pop, but whatever the K-pop band is, it's really big right now. In fact, I think they just got a hit on the American charts. And so the amount of success they've had and the amount of money they're making has convinced the Korean government to lift the mandate for everybody to perform military service, because the band was going to have to disband to do their military service. So, sorry, sidebar. I like interrupting for fun facts. We'll have more. Okay, we'll talk about all sorts of stuff. Fun stuff. I'm ready to be together. Does everybody think we're going to really be together Monday?
No.
biases.
No.
No, not at all.
Not a
Y'all
chance.
think
I want us to come back, but I don't think we are.
so?
Wilcox went face to face, and they're not looking too good.
Really?
Yeah. Like within the first week, they had quarantined 130 students.
Oh my God.
gosh.
That is
Okay.
actually insane.
Well, that's
The ghetto.
I was gonna say it's Wilcox. They only have 130 students.
The entire school got
Yeah.
quarantined.
I mean, I'm not trying to joke on them. Like they're a single A school. That's a small school. Yeah, that's frightening.
Maybe you called me last night?
I like.
Yes, I called you last night.
I just saw it. What do you mean?
It's too late now. I don't need it.
Oh,
Okay. So tell me where you are, what you need from me, do you want to go and work on these study guides and come back tomorrow? You want me to stay on here and answer questions? Tell me what you want, because I'm at your
I want
disposal.
to sleep.
You said the quiz for tomorrow, the test tomorrow, isn't due till like tomorrow night, right?
Correct.
So then could we just do the study guides and then come back tomorrow with
Yeah.
the questions that we have from the study
Yeah,
guides?
absolutely. Yeah, that's no problem. Or if there's anybody who, like, I know how you guys get, and you might be nervous about asking questions in front of people because you don't want to feel dumb. Y'all, I promise you're not going to sound dumb when you don't get something in here. There are little terminology words that are confusing, but if you're that person that you're nervous about asking things, just stay on here. I'll stay on here for a few more minutes or until everybody logs off. If you have questions that you want me to answer, I don't have a problem staying on. So, and if you're doing this, John Cook, are you on here? Yeah. Okay. Well, I don't know, but okay. So like last night, John emailed me and was like, "Hey, I'm confused. I'm having a problem doing this," and I created a little video and emailed it to him to show him how to do it. So if you email me, especially if multiple of you email me, I'll make a video and upload it to Google Classroom or send it to you by email for you to get some help. So if you start working on it today and you don't want to wait until tomorrow because you're afraid, oh my gosh, if I'm doing it wrong now, I don't want to keep doing it wrong. Send me an email, text me if you've got my number. I think I put my number on the Classroom. Text me, email me, call me, whatever, and I'll either walk you through it or I'll make you a video and send it to you. Okay. So you've got multiple things that you can be working on for studying. So there is questions in the AP Classroom. There's 3 study guides under unit review. So you've got multiple things that you can do to work on, and just let me know what help you need, and we'll go over things tomorrow. If you do the one in AP Classroom, then it'll grade it quickly for me, and I can get in there and see what you've missed. I know some of you are struggling getting into that program from your home computer, so I know not everybody's able to do it. But if you do, I can get a quick snapshot of what I may need to go over first tomorrow. But other than that, I will see you tomorrow, or I'll just stay on here for a little while if you've got some more questions. And I will be around. Email me if you need me. And that's all I've got for today, unless you need me.
Where's the study guide?
The study guide is, if you go into Google Classroom, where it says Unit Review, there are 3 study guides in there under Unit Review, and there's also one in the AP Classroom that's called a Progress Check, a Unit 1 Progress Check. So you've got 4 things that you can be working on to help your review.
I think I get it, but
Okay, and
I need to go.
if not, text me, email me, and I'll send you a video, Cornelius.
All right.
Okay.
To my Matt.
Y'all got questions?
Once I get out for work, I will see you later today.
Okay.
Hey, Bo.
So I gotta say, love you. Bye.
Hey, Bo, Baya's asking for you.
Yeah.
When we get into Spanish, I'm gonna tell them to go hard that I never gave you your packet because I just forgot to call you.
Yeah. I didn't think about it either.
We were going to come over there last night, but then you know how anyway, Jeff got the food off the grill about 8:30, and then we didn't finish until about 9, and then it was 9:30, and then Baya wouldn't bring me over there.
Oh no, I was watching the basketball game that they had yesterday,
Oh, I gotcha. Did they win?
and then I went to work out. Yeah, we won.
Oh, good.
It was real good. It was 34-35 at halftime. Us.
I should have
And
gone.
they took away with it at the end. It was like 68-53 maybe at the end.
Yeah. Hey, do we think John's asleep?
Yes.
Oh,
I think you just want to be the last one.
he might just want to be the last one to leave.
Might be.
Okay.
I'll let him do it.
That's
Let him
David likes to be the
That's
last
good.
one to leave too. John, are you there? No. Are you? Oh. Okay.